Jack.
Rose!
Jack.
Rose!
Jack.
Rose. Well, they built the ship Titanic to sail the ocean blue, and they thought they had a ship that the water would never go through. But the Lord's almighty hand knew that ship would never land. It was sad when the great ship went down. Welcome to Dinner Party Tonight. April 14th is the 112th anniversary of the sinking of the Titanic. Do you need more information about the Titanic?
All my information is from the movie.
The movie's pretty good.
It's true.
It's pretty good. He takes dramatic license, but what can you do? So I want to state at the beginning of the episode, I am not a Titanic person. I'm not really into the Titanic. Like, so, some people
As a historical event?
I'm into it as an historical event, period. The Titanic sank after being at sea for 4.5 days. Is that 4 days, really? 5 days, essentially. Isn't that crazy?
How long was the trip supposed to be?
6 days.
Oh, man.
She was fast. That's in the movie. The creator...
I don't like cruises.
I understand if you have little kids, it could be fun because...
No, it's not. There's so many other little kids.
You don't have little kids.
I know, but it's...
But I think an Atlantic crossing could be kind of amazing because you'd be in the middle of the Atlantic. It's one of the great oceans of the world.
Sure,
my favorite ocean. It's got whales in it, and it has the wreck of the Titanic.
Right.
Found famously by Bob Ballard. It was actually found in the 80s. Of course, James Cameron wanted to make a movie about the Titanic, which was a massive, massive, massive hit, as we all know.
Yes. It was the first time, I don't remember how old I was, but I saw Leo DiCaprio, and I was like, oh, I'm having feelings.
You think that movie is sexy?
Well, when I was 10 years old, it was very sexy. Yeah. I should watch it again. Maybe.
Anyways, we are here to make some food served primarily in the last meal, but some of it was food that was served throughout the very short cruise. I think people have this concept that she was at sea for like weeks before.
Yeah.
That's not true.
I wonder when the last person who was on the Titanic died. Like
very recently.
Really?
Yeah. Could it be a correlation to the movie?
Wow.
Everybody knows from the movie that there were 3 classes basically on the Titanic. 3rd class or steerage, 2nd class, and 1st class.
Okay.
Now, 2nd class was so opulent also that people thought they were in the wrong rooms, some of the 2nd class passengers.
Really?
They said it was just divinely beautiful, and 1st class was outrageous. To give you an idea of how much it cost in current dollars, it cost about $125,000 to go for 5 days on the Titanic from Southampton to New York.
Even for 2nd class?
No, that's 1st class.
Jesus Christ.
So that's a
Per
lot
person?
of money for
Per
5
person.
days per person. Food was included.
Thanks.
So we are going to be making food essentially from 1st and 2nd class, a really fancy grilled cheese called a Welsh rarebit. It's really good.
Really?
Yes. We're going to make poached salmon with mousseline. Ooh. Very simple, very easy. What is mousseline? We'll get to that. We're going to make peaches in chartreuse jelly, but it's not really peach season, so we're going to make a substitute that may or may not work. Then we're going to make a palate cleanser, which doesn't seem like a palate cleanser at all, called punch romaine.
Like lettuce?
It's nothing to do with lettuce whatsoever. It's a drink.
Oh.
Okay. So that's what we're gonna do. Titanic, food, because it's interesting and there's some interesting stories around it.
Yeah.
And
we should remember.
Titanic food for a Titanic fun day with a Titanic amount of alcohol. No, we're not supposed to say that. With a Titanic fun person, the Titanic Emily.
Oh!
And the Titanic
the
Randy
Titanic
Sharp.
Emily sounds like I'm like I'm enormous.
the unsinkable Emily Cratter.
There you go.
Okay? And Randy Sharp, president of Dinner Party Tonight. Gling, 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 gling. Da, dee, 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 dee. You know, there's controversy about whether the band played on. Many survivors, there were only 700 or so survivors. That's
Out of how many?
1,500. It's
my God.
kind of scary, right? Some people said they absolutely did, and most people said they didn't.
Maybe those people were traumatized and not paying attention. I'd like to think that they did.
Why? Because they sacrificed their life to play some stupid song while
Yeah.
people were dying? Save yourself. They don't need to hear music while they're dying.
Save yourself. There wasn't enough room for everyone.
Titanic. Food. Now. We are going to make a dessert that was served on April 14th for the final dinner aboard the Titanic, which, interestingly, was meant to dock on the White Star Line Pier, which is on around 13th Street, the same place where David Blaine did what for me was a very deep endurance performance called Electrified. On the big metal thing, which is, they made it into a big park now, the big metal front of the pier, you can see White Star Line.
Wow.
Which is where she was meant to come in, but she never came in, of course, because she sank to the bottom of the sea.
Yeah. Did they get to eat this meal at least?
Yes.
Oh.
So they didn't crash until quite late at night.
Okay.
I also want to quickly tell you that the menus, which many people folded and put in their pockets, which is how we know so much about what was served on certain nights. The sea trials, which were on April 3rd, tons of those exist, of course, because nothing happened.
Right.
People took the menus. But the more precious ones are the ones from the sailing. And the most precious ones are those from people who did not survive, okay? So, for instance, one just sold, a little card like this just sold for,
Wow.
okay? Not to mention when they sell plates and stuff like that, question mark. But anyway, we are making peaches in chartreuse jelly. Now, chartreuse, our favorite cocktail expert, Britt Genelin, explained to us is now extremely difficult to get, and boy, is she right.
Really?
Well, we explained it in the other episode. But she told me to keep very close watch on this. It calls for a cup. We're going to mix it with yellow chartreuse because I don't want to waste a cup.
And what is it? Is it a liqueur?
It's like fancy Jaeger. Smell it.
Oh, I think it smells great. It smells like a little apple-y, that one.
Well, it has
Right?
a huge amount of herbs in it. Chartreuse jelly with pink pineapple. 1 cup of water, slightly warm, not too hot, because if you use too hot gelatin, what happens is the outside of the gelatin releases before the inside and the inside seizes. Use lukewarm water or cold water, actually. 2 packets of gelatin. What is gelatin made out of?
Bones.
Horse's hooves.
Horse's hooves?
In order to make a set dessert, you had to be kind of an expert. You didn't just do this, okay? You had to boil tendons and hooves and jawbones and like all this crazy stuff to get a little bit of gelatin that wasn't pure, that had to be strained, so making a set dessert was an indication that you were really making an effort. Smell that because you can smell the hooves.
Oh, you can. I mean, I would never know that that's what hooves smelled like.
I had
but-
a little whisk here. Did it get moved? Yeah, these are, as we always say on the show, these are like the stupidest thing.
That's the cutest thing.
And then you end up using it all the time.
Right.
I'm mixing in the gelatin a little bit. It's going to dissolve.
But you could use like a fork, right?
Yes.
I've got those.
Now, I used cold water this time. Last night I used slightly warm water, and it's having a hard time dissolving, as you can see. The next thing we're going to do is put 1 cup of water into a pan. And we're going to put about 1/3 of sugar in here to sweeten the chartreuse.
Okay.
So let's say it's about...
Wow.
Here we go. So we're just going to basically melt the sugar in here. I'm going to put a little bit of Hey La La vanilla powder in here because I think it's an interesting idea. Just a little bit. It's going to make little tiny flecks in the jelly.
That's
but
nice.
I think that's okay. Well, I secretly know it's okay because I have a magic of television one. This sugar has melted. I'm now going to pour in the gelatin. And I'm not going to worry because the gelatin is going to melt. This is dissolved gelatin and dissolved sugar.
So I have a question.
Yes, love.
Most of the people on the Titanic were going on vacation, yes?
No, it was the only way to get from England to America. I'm using 3/4 of a cup of green. Now I only have that.
The people that survived
Correct.
and got to New York,
Yes. And Halifax, yes.
did they never go back? Because
That's a kind of a ridiculous question.
Why?
Some of them went back and some of them didn't.
So some of them got on another ship again? Is
Yes.
my question.
That was their only choice to get back to their families.
That's crazy.
One of the survivors survived 3 sea disasters. She sailed, well, she didn't survive the Lusitania, but she sailed on the Lusitania the day before it was sunk. And she went down with another ship, which is amazing. She survived, but she went down. She went in the water in a lifeboat with another ship. Cup of chartreuse.
I'll never go on a ship again, and I just got seasick. I would never go on another ship again if it sank. That's crazy.
It's almost like I'm like pretty brave person.
Yeah, I'd say so.
I always say to people, the only time that you cannot rely on me would be in a ocean-going emergency.
Really?
Yes.
You panic, you mean?
I don't know, but I'm warning people that if you need me in that scenario, I may not be the most useful.
I always say you're the first person I'd call. If
And
ever need
you'd be
someone.
right.
Yeah.
But if there was a boat tipping like this, maybe I'd go into ultra Randall mode. I mean, or maybe I would be useless. I don't know.
I don't think you'd be useless. I think you'd go. I kind of want to see.
I'd go into ultra-
What is ultra mode? Have
Ultra
I ever
Randall.
seen Ultra Randall?
No.
Yeah, I don't know.
Thank God.
I know. Thank
Yeah.
God. That's true.
We're going to let this cool off the heat for just a minute. And then we're going to pour it into some molds. Now, you can just pour this into a dish, square dish, and line it with wax paper. Inexplicably, they say in the recipe, which I did last night, and the wax paper just floated to the top. I'm like, what is the point of this? It's so bizarre.
Wait, and where'd you get the recipe?
From the Titanic book. Lynn got me these 2 fantastic books.
Oh, cool.
This book, I have to tell you, is fantastic. Hundreds and hundreds of anecdotes and recipes. So this lady, Veronica Hinkey, this is a great book. This book is a little bit from the movie. For instance, it has wonderful pages with quotes from the script in it.
In the movie, is it accurate what they're eating? Now
Yes,
I wanna go,
totally accurate.
Really?
Yes. Okay. Ever been to Wisconsin?
What?
Well, they have some of the coldest winters around. I grew up there, blah, blah, blah. We went ice fishing out on Lake Wissota. Ice fishing is, where you...
I know what ice fishing is.
Sorry, you just seem like kind of an indoor girl.
Was that a line in the movie?
Yes.
That was in the movie?
Yes, okay, let's mold our jellos.
Are these Jell-O molds? That's
They
what
are. They're blancmange molds.
Oh, wow. I didn't realize they were, like, squishy.
And they're also cute little French hats. Yes, madam. Oh, are you sailing on the Titanic? Here, hold your...
Oui.
Are you are you a first-class passenger?
Sure am.
Yeah. Are you going to have pineapple and chartreuse jelly?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, well, let's wash these. Okay, here we go. In order to get your Jell-O out of anything, whether you're making Jell-O in a square container or not, you got to spray the container. We're going to use Everbake.
What is it, though? What is it, olive oil?
There's a thing here. Can you just let me do this?
Sorry.
Okay.
What do we do?
There's a little graphic.
Oh.
We're going to use Everbake. Okay. Everbake is sprayed cooking oil. For some reason, this particular brand is so superior to every brand I've ever used.
Why does it say serving size is 1/4 of a second of a spray? What is that? That's like...
Don't spray it. It's
sorry.
oil.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
So you figure that out.
I don't understand why it says that. One. So it's the 1 sec.
We are going to make sort of cute little jellies, and then we're going to cut the pineapple and see if we want to cook it. The peaches are stewed, soft, but pineapple is already pretty soft. So we're gonna taste it and see if we think it needs to be briefly stewed. I'm gonna pour 3 and you're gonna pour 3.
Okay.
Just pour gently in these 3.
I don't think there's going to be enough.
Oh, put a little more in that one. That's funny.
This one needs more.
All right, there wasn't enough for the 6th one. Now, just to avoid heartache, I'm just gonna leave these to set a little bit before I desperately try to carry them to the refrigerator. They should set for, in my opinion, at least 12 hours.
Wait, you mean because you think you're going to spill them?
Yes.
I'll do it. I have a steady hand.
Dee, 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 dee.
Woo!
Okay, get out of the way. Okay, now.
Are you impressed?
Very.
Wow, that is beautiful.
So it does look like a peach. This is a pink pineapple. They're like $11 at Citarella, but I think they're special. You don't want any of these black
Oh, it smells so good.
dots. You don't want any of those. They're hard. Let's taste this.
Wow.
It would be a sin to cook that.
Oh my God, this is crazy good. It's not as
Cloying.
cloying. That's exactly right.
Now I do have a core. Let's see if it'll take the core out.
Nice. That sound is so satisfying. Did you do it? Wow.
I'm not going to cook it. It's exquisite.
Yeah.
So we're going to cut very thin slices. Then we're going to do something really fancy. We're going to cut them with a big cutter so they're even more perfect.
For people that don't have a corer, what do they do?
They're kind of a hassle. I mean,
Yeah.
I would buy it cut and cord, which you can do on First Direct. Or
That's a good
you have to
idea.
cut it in half and kind of dig out the core.
Okay.
I'm going to get a big cutter and see if I can make these into a perfect circle.
These really do come in handy, these guys. So good.
Ah, okay.
It's like little bagels.
Okay, here's our perfect circles. I'm going to cut them in half, like that. You need to put a lemon.
Do you have to do the juicer?
Yeah, get the juicer.
Don't move the instrument. Move
Don't
your
do this,
hands.
Emily.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah. I'm putting the slices in here. Now, they stew the peaches in sugar, lemon juice, and a little bit of vanilla. We're just gonna let these sit for a second. This is simple syrup.
Oh boy.
And a little bit of syrup and lemon, a little bit of vanilla. Okay.
What's the difference between that and like the liquid vanilla?
The liquid vanilla has alcohol in it. These are the seeds, just dried, just the seeds. I'm letting this sit just while we finish. Put this in the fridge, honey, actually. Let's unmold the magic of television jellies, shall we?
Oh,
I'm just doing the edges, separating the edge.
you're doing it.
Okay, put the paper towel on top of it this way. Thank you. Ah, damn. All right, that's a goner. That
All
one
right.
didn't work. Oh, that one came out.
Beautiful.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay, so it's stuck to the plate. So we're just gonna make the dessert around this. You can decorate this with edible flowers. What you can do is if you have a little plant like a nasturtium or fennel or any kind of herb that has a tiny flower in the spring, those are the best. We're gonna make sort of triangles of pineapple. You can do some of these.
I can.
Yeah, and we're just gonna kind of deposit them around.
What's your favorite scene in the movie?
I think the special effects are pretty amazing.
That's not a scene.
No, but I think that that's probably
Oh, like,
pretty
so the
close to what it
iceberg?
looked like. The sinking is Probably pretty close.
Really?
Yeah. How lovely and Titanic-y. Okay, so this didn't demold correctly. It's perfectly good, it just didn't hold the shape. So what you can do is either tear it like this or cut it into little pieces and just stack the bottom of your dessert cup that way. But you know, you can also not make it in a mold. You can make it in a flat thing and cut squares. I just thought it would be cute in the mold. Right before you serve it, you want to pour a little of the reserved liquid that you either poached the peaches in or that you used. Pineapple and chartreuse jelly.
Not chanteuse like a French singer, right? Is that how you say it?
Chanteuse.
Chanteuse.
I'm king of the world! Now we are going to make Welsh rarebit.
They should have come up with a better name than rarebit.
Well, I'll tell you where the name comes from. The name comes from Welsh rabbit, which was a joke name for this.
It's funny because when I saw what we were making and you said rarebit, I thought it said rabbit, and I had feelings about that.
So Welsh rabbit is a joke because it's kind of a beautiful grilled cheese. It's hearty, and it's a little bit of a slight possibly on Welsh people that only a Welsh person would think that melted cheese was rabbit. Possibly that's where it came from, but it definitely came from rabbit, that it was kind of like a substitute for like a meaty meal. It's essentially a very delicious and quite coarse dish that was mysteriously served at the first class lunch.
What do you mean by coarse?
It's grilled cheese. I mean, it's fancy, but it's grilled cheese. I'm grating about 6 ounces of cheese. And we're sort of combining.
What kind of cheese is this?
This is cheddar.
Ooh, just regular old American cheddar?
No, I'm
English.
actually using English cheddar in respect to the British passengers and the fact that it might inch me closer to my MBE.
Your what?
My member of the British Empire.
How do you win one?
You have to do a lot of stuff in service of the British Empire.
Like what?
Saving British citizens in a bad situation.
Who's on the board of this decision making?
The royals.
Oh. Anyone know them? Actually, I have a friend that went to college with Meghan. Sorry,
Meghan is not a royal.
sore subject.
This is about 6 ounces of grated cheese. Seeded rye. Now, when I used to live with Paul, we used to call this messy bread. Paul somehow figured out a way of cutting a piece of bread and having the entire house bear evidence of it. From the kitchen all the way to the 3rd floor.
Crumbs?
I don't know how he did it. If we weren't shooting the show, I would cut this outside.
Really? It's that bad?
Yep. I'm gonna cut in because I want sort of big slices, but we can always, people will eat this bread, so I'm just gonna cut like this.
We should do a Passover episode where we do
Yeah,
everything
because
with
you were
matzah.
so good at the Sabbath episode.
I know, but
You didn't even know the prayers. Look at that.
I'll be more prepared. I do know the prayers for Passover, the 4 questions, because I'm the youngest.
Well, what's the first question? Because that's a very, very important theatrical question.
Why is this night different than all other nights?
That's correct. So if you're a director out there, ask yourself, why does the play take place on this night and not the next night or the night before? This looks like good bread. Here's 2 pieces of bread. We're gonna make a ton of topping.
Wow, and those are thick pieces.
I know, because I'm sort of copying April Bloomfield slightly. She's the president of the Spotted Pig, which is gone now. She did a very beautiful grilled cheese, which was kind of a rarebit. Also had bechamel, it had bechamel on it. It was like a heart attack on a plate, but boy, was it good. This is gonna be a little bit of a heart attack also. So there's my bread. Now I'm gonna do something a little nutty, a little crazy and kooky, which is I'm gonna put a tiny amount of finely chopped onion in mine, okay?
And this is, you're just coming up with this?
Yes.
Is this a shallot? What?
Yeah, it's a shallot.
Okay.
We're gonna use dry mustard. Ladies and gentlemen, use dry mustard to make your mustard. Unless you're doing, sandwiches with kids or something, then it's a pain. But this is really what mustard is supposed to taste like. You make it up for whatever your making. This is very hot. This is Coleman's, which happens to be my favorite mustard. This is what it looks like. So where I grew up in England, surrounding our farm were mustard fields.
Whoa.
Do you have any idea what that looks like in the fall? It looks like that.
It's yellow?
Oh yeah, it's bright yellow. You may also notice in my hand an apple.
An apple.
Okay.
Is that a Fuji apple?
It is a Fuji apple. I did not choose a Honeycrisp apple because I wanted an apple that was slightly dry. You also may have noticed some Guinness.
They put booze in everything, these people.
We're going to put a slice of apple, or Apfel in German, onto the bread when we toast it. Meanwhile, we're going to mix up this plop that we're going to put on to the semi-toasted bread and kind of broil it. It's going to be pretty spectacular.
What is plop?
Plop?
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Let's take it to the stage. We're just going to dump all this stuff and gently melt it. We're not going to really melt it because I want sort of chunkarellas of cheese, okay? So here we go.
Yeah.
I'm going to put some cream in, okay? La, 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 a little bit of cream.
Wait.
La, la, la. Making it up as we go.
Lost something kind of crucial.
Yes, I sang that song. That was my song.
Light to be the
Light of the world, so let your light so shine before men. Let your light so shine,
so that we might know some kindness again.
Na 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 na.
Let's have wine.
That was one of the musicals of the 70s where you got up on stage with the actors. Godspell. I'm gonna put an egg yolk.
Do you prefer brown eggs?
It's irrelevant. The color of the outside of the egg is totally irrelevant.
This is decadent.
It needs a little more cheese. Dun, 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 making it up. Now, I guarantee you they didn't do this on the Titanic. Holding the grater with the... Actually, she didn't move very much because she was so big.
Well, who's she?
The boat.
Oh.
Well, that's a ship, actually.
Big boat, huh?
Daddy, it's a ship.
Oh, yeah. Grate the rest of this in there.
Okay.
It needs to be thicker.
Am I holding this right?
Gently stroke
Gently,
it.
okay. Gentle.
My eyebrows don't move because I have Botox.
Let me see. Oh, wow, they're not moving. Oh, my God.
Turning that off. And I'm putting in some mustard.
Do you prefer soft cheese or hard cheese?
I like stinky cheese.
You do?
So that looks like a bechamel to me. We're gonna basically go like this with the bread and then pour the excess on top. I'm gonna put in a glug of beer. Get one of those little glasses. Let's check this out. Beep. Nick just informed me this has a device, a gizmo or a gadget inside.
I didn't know that.
And you're supposed to pour the whole thing. We can't taste it. We're only gonna use a tiny bit. It says, upon opening, the famous round plastic widget.
Another good word.
Widget! Upon opening, the famous round plastic widget in every can unleashes nitrogen through the beer, creating the creamy head and iconic surge that's distinctively Guinness. To best enjoy, open the can and wait a moment for the nitrogen to release. Pour into a glass, tilted at 45 degrees. Watch the surge.
Whoa.
So when they draft it, Nikki, do they put nitrogen in it?
There's nitrogen in draft Guinness.
Oh, okay. Open this.
Nice.
Ah!
45-degree angle.
No, it said wait a minute.
Oh.
Wait a moment.
How much
Okay.
is a moment? Yeah. 45 degree.
That is 45 degrees. What am I watching here? Oh, it is doing something.
Oh, yeah. Wow, that's cool.
Whoa.
That's pretty cool. And it's getting darker.
It might be my new favorite thing. Look at that. We just poured a perfect Guinness. Look at
Wow.
that.
Yeah.
Because some freaking genius figured out how to
I
make
wanna
it.
see what the
that
widget
even
is.
a moron can pour a correct one. I'm going to try it.
Oh, I think it's great.
It's delicious.
Yeah, it's great.
It's very bitter, though. I'm just going to put a tiny bit in here.
Well,
Oh. Okay, I'm going to stir that in. I'm just going to try this for seasoning. Holy cow.
oh, I couldn't see your expression. It's holy cow. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Let's get the bread out of the oven and we'll do this.
Perfectly toasted.
Yes. So we're kind of trying to make this as authentic as possible, guys, okay? So both sides would be coated. So let's do that.
You're dipping it in there?
Yep. Okay.
Whoa. You're dipping it both sides?
Yes.
How does one eat that?
Because it's going to crisp up.
Oh. It's like French toast.
Only worse.
Yeah. Wait, was that funny?
Yes. It's like my comment was,
Oh.
not yours.
Oh.
No, I'm joking. I'm joking. Now I'm going to put some slices of
Apples?
apple, and I'm going to do a little something like this.
It smells crazy. What is that?
Green peppercorns.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
This would be something to make for somebody you really loved.
I feel like you'd have to take a 3-hour nap after eating this.
And you're just going to wait until it's bubbly and brown. And do you know that there was a fire on the Titanic the entire time they were sailing? That they were containing?
What, really?
Yeah. But you know how they were containing it? They left open these compartments and used water from the bilge or whatever. One theory is that's why the ship flooded, was because they were fighting this fire. It's kind of fascinating. Rare bit. It's a rare bit,
Yeah.
just like you.
What, really? What do you mean? Oh, I'm a rare bit?
Uh-huh.
Oh, I get it.
We are the rare bits, my friend. It's like pizza.
Wow.
It has to cool severely, guys. And then I'm going to spatula it onto this plate.
And you're going to serve it at open style or?
Open. Oh my God. It's 2 sandwiches.
Okay.
Do you think it seems first class? I don't think so. We know it was, though.
No, I do. I mean, it looks
not
decadent, indulgent, yes.
Maybe later on we could share a bit.
A rare bit. I'm flying.
Yeah, totally.
I'm flying, Jack. Jack.
Totally, Rose! You're totally flying! Rose! You want to try this?
Yes.
Rose?
Yes, Jack.
Let's try it. Now, it could be a little bit cooler. It's a
Oh
little
my God,
bit.
I'm literally salivating.
Here you go.
Oh my God.
The bread should be more toasted.
It should be. Maybe because it's so thick.
No, it just should be more toasted before it goes in.
Oh my God.
It's really,
This is absurd. This is absurd. If I ate a whole thing of that, I would need to lie down for a few hours.
Rarebit is pretty good.
It's really, really good.
Bread could be toasted a little more. Toast up your bread a little more before you broil it. I thought it would toast as it was boiling, but of course it was covered in cheese. But that is exquisite.
Exquisite.
And the apple is really good.
I think it's first class.
I don't.
You don't?
No.
What would make it first class?
If it was smaller, neater,
Little tea sandwiches?
a little less intensely flavored. But anyways, Rarebit. First class?
Yes. Jack.
Oh, what's this?
What are you doing?
Oh. Does it come off? We're going to make salmon with mousseline sauce, which was served as an hors d'oeuvre. Actually, not exactly how we mean hors d'oeuvre, but as a sort of light starter. An hors d'oeuvre to us is sort of like a canapé to them.
An appetizer?
Yes. No, this is an appetizer.
Oh, okay.
But a canapé is, do you know what the real definition of a canapé is?
No.
Anything on a piece of bread.
Oh, I thought, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but anyways, canapés now mean hors d'oeuvre, or as my friend's mother used to say, hors d'oeuvres, which I loved. What is mousseline? Remember we talked at the very beginning, what is a mousseline?
Is it after Mussolini?
Yeah, it's after,
I don't know. Maybe it's from his time
it's
of
got
reign.
nothing to do with him.
Oh.
Okay, it has to do with the word mousse.
Oh.
So a mousseline is very simply any mild sauce, but really hollandaise mixed with whipped cream. It goes very well with things of a delicate nature. It doesn't really hold up to things like, spare ribs and stuff like that. It's very delicate.
Spare ribs.
Yeah, and it looks a little something like this. However, this recipe is bewildering because it tells you to boil the fish, which
Ew.
is completely wrong. So we're gonna just poach the fish in a little cream, vegetable stock, herbs, lemon, and when we've set that up, we will make the mousseline, which has nothing to do with Mussolini. Okay. Can you imagine Italy was not our friend for a while? Isn't that crazy?
That's too bad.
So hopefully in years to come, we'll say, wow, can you believe Iraq wasn't our friend? I hope if you had told somebody in 1945 that Japan was going to be our ally, they wouldn't have believed you.
That's a great point.
So there's hope.
You gotta have hope. Is that right? All you really need is hope. Is that, no, it's not the right word.
You realize people are commenting on the fact that we sing songs to which we do not know the lyrics?
Well.
All right, let's do this. So this is some beautiful American organic salmon, or not, you never know. I mean, the truth is, fishmongers, it's a crapshoot.
What do you mean, they lie?
They'll tell you it's something and it's not. The person who does not lie about what they're making is, of course, our great friend and compatriot, Jermaine Cuts Owens. This is American organic salmon, wild. We have these beautiful fillets, and we're just going to make a yummy...
Wait, what, you say fillets?
It's an affect. That's how they say it in England.
Oh.
Yeah. You're lucky I don't say shallot.
That's another way of saying fillets?
That's how they... This is what I'm dealing with. So as we know, sharp citrus cooks fish, ceviche. We talked about that for the
right.
carpaccio.
I thought you meant sharp, like...
No. Like Randy Sharp?
Yeah.
This is a Dexter. This is a fish boning knife. See that? It's completely inappropriate for cutting anything else but fish. So we use our PALETE.
Oh, wow. Jesus.
I'm just gonna make some pretty big rounds to release flavor, right? They want you to use fish stock, which the store didn't have. So I'm just kind of making stock, essentially, is what I'm doing. I have some dill, I have some parsley, and I have some tarragon and lemon, but we're gonna be very careful with the lemon.
So that it doesn't cook the fish.
Yes. Good job, Emmy.
You're welcome.
Do you like the movie Titanic?
I love it.
What's your favorite part?
I love the dance scene.
Oh, the tiptoe dance
The
scene?
tiptoe dance scene.
I think the best part is when they show you the sunken ship at the end and then it turns into the ship and she walks in.
That's your favorite part. Oh.
So sad.
No, you mean the very end after she died.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to deglaze this with a little
You
pastis.
know know what part is the most devastating to me? When the older couple is in bed.
That's Isidore and
Right.
Strauss, the big department store owners. They didn't die in their room.
Oh.
People, they were out on the deck. People saw them. But who was the richest
Wait,
man?
but why didn't they get on a boat?
Because they were old.
That's why.
They were honorable.
Women and children first, right?
Thank God.
We're gonna rant about Titanic.
Yeah,
Okay,
what's your rant?
I'm gonna rant. The song.
What's the rant
This is
about the
vermouth.
song?
Okay, obviously the song is great. It was written by James Horner, who is the composer. The problem with the song is this, okay. Why would you want someone you loved to be trapped for eternity watching over you?
What do you mean? My heart will
I
go.
feel you. That's how I know you go on. It means the person is there watching her.
No, it means that my relationship with you goes on and on even when you're not here because I can still
I
feel
see
you
you.
with me.
I feel you.
Yes, I see you. I feel you.
But how dare you
What?
want them to be with you? They've gone. Let them go.
Of course, let them go. But in your letting them go, they're always with you.
That doesn't make any sense.
Yes, it does.
No, it doesn't.
They're a part of you forever, even if they're not physically with you.
Okay, but what about them specifically?
They're no longer here.
But that's not what the song says.
Every night in my dreams, I see you.
I feel you. That is how I know you. Go on. Right.
Yeah. Far across the distance and spaces between us,
Near, far, wherever you are. No vibrato, Emily. I guess if there's one song you're going to have vibrato.
Sure Celine has a little vibrato in there. I'm pretty sure.
Okay, here's our beautiful, creamy poaching liquid. Oh, delicious. I'm going to make the sauce because the fish is not going to take 40 minutes.
Wait,
which
this
is what-
isn't the sauce?
Huh?
This is not sauce?
No, this is
that's
the
the
poaching
stock.
liquid,
Right.
which you can use to make a sauce by
Okay.
reducing it. It's pretty, isn't it?
It is, and it looks like the color of the sauce.
Okay, I'm putting some lemon in here, but very small amount. I'm going to put a little bit of this tarragon straight in here. I'm going to put a little bit of this washed dill in here, and a little bit of this. Now, could you do this in a bouquet garni? Absolutely. What is a bouquet garni? It's this stuff tied up with a piece of string. Okay.
Under the sea.
Don't stop singing Under the Sea.
Trying to think of fish songs.
Bum, 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 why don't you? The elephant swam right over the dam. My dad loved that song.
Yeah.
He could play it good too.
That's
Dad
good
could
one.
play like barrel house kind of.
On the piano?
Oh yeah. He played classical music, but he could really play like dun 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 dun
way.
dun. Yeah.
Wow, I had
oh,
no
yeah.
idea.
He was great at that. I'm gonna just salt and pepper this pointlessly because it's going in liquid. I'm putting in these pieces to flavor the stock a little bit. It's boiling. I'm gonna turn it down now.
Does it matter, like the size of the bubbles to know?
Yes, it should not be boiling, period. Okay? You're poaching it. It looks absolutely stunning.
It really
right
does.
there, I have to say. I'm just going to loosely cover this, you know. All right, let's start our sauce. What is mousseline? Mousseline is hollandaise with whipped cream. So I'm heating up 2 tablespoons of butter, don't you know? This, we can whip that. Emily, you're gonna have the fun experience of doing this. We're gonna kind of go like this, look. I'm making little circles in the bottom.
Okay.
You can do it. Has to be much more aggressive.
Oh, Jesus.
Little tarragon in here.
How's that?
You're almost done. Good, Emily, good, keep going. Okay, I'm adding in this egg.
You know, this is harder than it looks.
Tell it to the judge. Let me see. That's great. Good job, Emmy.
Thank you.
Now, you're gonna slowly pour,
Butter.
gently pour it in, and then stop when I tell you. Okay, go. Keep going, stop. Okay, keep going. Slowly, a little bit. Good, stop. Hollandaise, it doesn't really hold. If you put it in a little dish with warm water under it, it can still break. Okay, give me some. Keep going. Okay, stop. Look how beautiful that is. I'm just gonna try this.
Oh my God.
It needs salt. So what we're trying to do is prevent the butter from separating from the eggs, and we're preventing the eggs from cooking.
How do you know when it's done?
If I'm gonna cut this with whipped cream, I mean, this is too thick for hollandaise, but I kind of like this. It's like a ribbon, right? All right, now they want us to just fold in the whipped cream. I'm folding over the hollandaise into the whipped cream. See that? I'm trying not to deflate. This is a good sauce. Here you go. Try it. The first time you make hollandaise, it may not work. If it splits, I mean, you can go online and there's how to fix a split hollandaise. Just throw it out, okay? I'm gonna put just an itsy bitsy little bit of pepper in here. All right, I'm thrilled with that. I don't know about you, Emily.
I'm thrilled.
Seems pretty first class hors d'oeuvre to me.
Yeah.
All right, let's check the fish.
Whoa.
Oh, beautiful. I'm just spooning a little poaching liquid on top. It's completely done. Okay. The knife goes in easily. What are we gonna do? We need to get it out of this liquid ASAP. When you see the white fat coming out of cooked salmon, it usually means it's over. Don't break.
Don't break my
Heart, sailor again. So let's take a look at our beautiful salmon.
Gorgeous.
Looking lovely, really beautiful. All right. And now we're gonna make a plate of salmon with mousseline sauce. So I'm just gonna spoon some of this into the bottom of the plate.
Okay.
I'm gonna set the salmon on top of it. Actually, I'm gonna put a little bit of dill underneath.
Good
the
call.
mousse.
Gorge.
Salmon with mousseline sauce was on a lot of menus, actually, from there, not just the last night.
Mandy. So beautiful. Wow. And you said that this was an appetizer?
I would say it was an appetizer, yes.
Oh, wait, what did you call it
Or
again?
hors d'oeuvre.
Hors d'oeuvre.
Salmon with mousseline sauce.
Bon
Not
appetit.
Mussolini sauce.
Wait, look how close and amazing it is to this picture. Insanely close. And yours might be better.
Poop, poop. And then people heard a dugunk.
Oh my
that.
God.
That's all they heard. After they ate this, they had
Really?
fantastic
What time?
time.
What time did they get it?
11:45 or something.
At night?
Yeah, it was like this.
Oh my God.
Some people fell out of bed. The thing that scared them the most was that they shut the engines off. And that's when people got a little spooked because you never hear that. And for that to go,
Oh God.
that everybody, and also the sea was like glass. There wasn't a wave on the ocean. So when they show you that, that's true. Oh, that scene is pretty amazing.
Why would
also,
they-
the special effects, and that has to be close.
Why would they not have enough lifeboats on the?
They did. That's a fallacy.
Oh,
they
no
did,
way.
but they were used incorrectly. They were launched incorrectly. They had just enough for like possibly every person. The fact that they had like a third of the amount, that's not true.
Okay.
However, they didn't think the ship was going to sink, you guys. So when the boats were going out on these davits, swinging 5 stories above the ocean, people were like, eh. That's why you have lifeboats with 6 people in them. One little thing I want to bring up because we're cooking here is, if you recall at the end of the movie when Jack and Rose are climbing to the top of the ship, there's a chef there hanging on. Do you remember that? That's a real person. Chef Jochen, he did survive. He was a bread chef, a pastry chef. He threw deck chairs over. When he was in the lifeboat, he was lashing lifeboats together. I mean, he was like he was a complete hero, this chef. And he was drunk. And he believes that his 2 hours in the water before he was picked up by a lifeboat, he survived because A, he had a lot of alcohol in his blood.
Oh wow.
And B, he didn't thrash around. It was 28 degrees or 32
crap.
degrees or something.
I just did a cold plunge last week, and it was 57 degrees, and I lasted 2 minutes. I thought that was pretty good.
Well, people did survive in the water. They pulled some people out of the water. Let's talk about Margaret Brown. So Margaret Brown was basically born in the dirt, okay? And she married a guy who had a little tiny farm, and guess what was on it? Gold.
Wow.
Okay? And she became a multimillionaire, as did he. He died. And she was this weird, fabulous person portrayed by Kathy Bates in the movie, quite sweetly, who came from nothing and wasn't going to let hoity-toity people shut her out. She was also richer than a lot of them. We'd like to do a short scene involving Molly Brown. Countess, look, here comes that vulgar brown woman.
Quickly, get up before she sits with us.
Molly Brown wakes up, greeting them cheerfully. Hello, girls. I was hoping I'd catch you a tea.
Oh, we're awfully sorry you missed it. The Countess and I are just off to take the air on the boat deck.
What a lovely idea. I need to catch up on the gossip about herself. Molly Brown, she did so many beautiful things and so much philanthropy, and she was an amazing person. She could yodel, she could do all kinds of crazy stuff. She didn't mess around. She was truly chic person. They portray her as being kind to him at the party and giving him her husband's suit.
Right.
That's very Molly Brown.
Yeah.
And also, she wasn't ruined in the stock market crash. Unsinkable. And then the other thing I want to tell you is, so you're not allowed to take anything out of the Titanic. Newsflash. So the whole premise of the movie is a little wonky because you're not allowed to go in the Titanic with a machine. Don't forget how far down she is, okay? You can't go in there with a machine and like pick things up and like open cabinets like they do in the movie. You're not allowed to do that. I don't know the answer to this. They might have been able to do it at the time the movie was made, but now you definitely are not allowed to do that.
Right.
Salvage law is a very crazy thing. Because so many people died, they said that going in there with, robots and stuff to take people's necklaces was kind of the same as grave robbing. So they said you can take it if it's on the debris field because that fell out of the boat, but you can't go into their grave and pull things out. Is there stuff down there? 100%. Is there jewelry? 100%. Is there gold? Yes. There's a lot of stuff down there.
But you can't go down there.
No.
That's what they said.
Guess what? You can't go, everybody. Settle down. You can't go.
Okay.
You can only pick up objects, some 5,000 of which have been picked up from the debris field, which in the case of the Titanic splitting apart is quite long. It's almost 2 miles long. Tons of things. Guess what they found in it? You're not going to believe this.
Give me a hint.
So amazing to
Give
me.
me a hint.
They found a leather satchel thrown there as if it was on his shoulder, and as he went down in the water, it came off his shoulder and floated down through the depths into the seabed. So it's about 2 miles down, okay?
It's
2
wild.
miles.
I have no.
That's 40 blocks.
not fathomable.
40 blocks. And because of some sort of bacteria that he had picked up somewhere that was on his satchel, and it was not really a satchel, it was a display, it was a salesman's case, right? It had sealed, and this bacteria had somehow created a barrier so that when they opened it, they found inside countless pristine vials of perfume. And as a perfume person, that just killed me.
It's wild.
Okay? So they were carried by a gentleman called Mr. Stahlfeld, who was a German man who wanted to make perfume.
Wow.
He was a chemist, and he wanted to make perfume.
So was he going to sell them, you think?
No, he was going to make perfume and become a perfumer. God knows what he would have made. We'll never know. But they were able to bring up this bag, and they doused it and sprayed it with all this special stuff so that they could really open it and take the vials out. And the vials still smelled
No way.
and were intact with the perfume.
80 years later?
Pristine. They cut tiny microscopic slits in the top of the vials so that visitors to the exhibition that they were exhibited in could smell the vial. Can you imagine?
No. That's insane.
So they were big notes like geranium, lily of the valley. They were like the big notes that you use to make a perfume. So some person created a perfume called Titanic Legacy using concepts and some of the chemical strands of those actual smells that were in Stahlfeld's case. Isn't that amazing?
It's amazing.
So there are incredible stories in the Titanic. My heart will go on. The world's worst instrument, right?
Awful.
Hit it. I just ate a huge piece.
Okay,
Check it
you
out.
did?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Do you think it's good?
That is outrageous. It's cooked perfectly.
It is, eh?
It's cooked perfectly.
Salmon with mousseline. Happy Titanic.
Salmon Mussolini.
No, mousseline. Salmon mousseline. Say it. Let's make a palate cleanser called Punch Romaine, or Romany Punch, essentially. What was the wine cellar like on the Titanic? Well, they found some wine, and it sold at Sotheby's for some outrageous amount. Of course, it's not usable. The palate cleanser we're going to make uses egg whites. Now, if you remember...
What?
Yes. Here are the 2 egg whites. We're making 2 punch romaines. Egg whites. Whoops, I forgot. We're doing the egg white, not the egg yolk. Okay, I put 2 egg whites. We're making 2 drinks, right? I'm going to put 2 ounces of white rum. Oh, come on. It has to be in mils.
50 milliliters.
Well, we'll just put them both in.
Okay.
Seems like too much rum, but it's okay. Simple syrup?
A half an ounce.
Half an ounce. I think it's half of this.
Great.
Okay.
We're totally guessing here.
So somewhat. Doesn't matter.
Half an ounce of lemon juice.
All right, here we go. Well, it's actually a full ounce because we're doing 2 punch romaines.
Oh, so it was supposed to be a full ounce of simple
Yeah,
syrup.
so
I think
that's
plenty.
that's easy to. What are you so sugar afraid of?
Oh, I just think it's
Somebody
funny.
told you some cockamamie thing that you can't have sugar or something?
No, just you could have some sugar. You're doing more. Oh,
I'm filling up the ounce. Okay. We're going to use a little bit of cherry concentrate.
oh, you love cherries.
I love cherry and I love cherry concentrate.
Okay.
Okay? Combine all these things and shake
Wait, what
vigor.
about the champagne?
That comes later, top with champagne.
Okay.
Now shake it. So shake it for 15 seconds without the ice.
Okay.
Okay, that's plenty. Okay, here comes the ice.
Okay. Shake, shake, shake.
Shake your booty. Okay, here we go. I'm now going to strain it.
Wow.
It's 2 drinks, don't worry. Okay, it's not orange because we didn't use an orange. It's supposed to be orange. Sort of vaguely pink.
It's like a little creamsicle-y.
Yeah. 2 chilled coops.
Wow.
Okay, I got some crushed ice here. Oh,
Wow.
it's like snow.
So this was their palate cleanser?
Yes.
So they would serve this after the salmon, before the main meal?
No, after the main meal, before the dessert.
Oh, okay.
Okay, here we go.
Wow. Nice. Ooh. Oh. Good Lord. Wow. Cheers.
Here's to you. Who's like you? Damn few and they're all dead.
There's a lot of ice in it.
Do you know why?
Why?
Because the crushed ice melted and it made big pieces. That's what happened.
I think it's good.
I think it's really good.
You do?
Yeah, I mean, this is a mistake, obviously, the big pieces of ice. But
No, it is good.
it should dissolve,
Right.
dissolve the ice and be like a little sherbet in the bottom. You could also serve this, I read in another book and online, they would sometimes pour this over sherbet, which is a kind of sorbet.
What's the difference, actually?
Sherbet has cream.
Oh. You have to chew it.
Oh, maybe you're not supposed to drink it.
What do you mean? You're supposed to eat it?
Yeah.
No, you're not.
It's a palate cleanser.
You think you're supposed to eat it with a spoon?
Get one of those little wooden spoons, doll. I think I'm right.
No.
Well, this is the tiny wooden spoon.
And you said one of the little ones.
Iceberg. You know, I'm not a Titanic person, but I'll tell you that reading that book that Lynn got me, the one that wasn't really a cookbook, there's some pretty incredible stories on there.
It surprises me that you say that.
It's
And for not being a Titanic person, you know more about the Titanic than anybody I've ever known.
Every night in my dreams, I see you, I feel you. That is how I know you. Go on. Far across the distance, the spaces between us. You have come to show you. Go on. Come on. No vibrato. Da, 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 da. Near, far, wherever you are, I believe that your heart does go. Why are people even watching this, man?
We did it so well over there.
Well, here's to you, Emily.
Here's to you.
Titanic.
Happy Titanic Remembrance Day.
Kind of.
Never let go.
Just remember something, okay? Something really important. It's not, well, first of all, we're not drunk. You're acting like we're drunk.
Just kidding.
Okay? They're gonna complain that there's a bunch of drunks on YouTube f***ing around in the kitchen, is what they're gonna say. Okay? I want you to think about this. The Titanic sank in 1912. What happened 2 years later?
Wait, let me guess. 19.
It's hard not to know the
Okay, so
answer.
go ahead.
What happened 2 years after
World War
Correct.
I. Yeah.
So the reason I think why Titanic holds such allure for people is that it's one of the last pre-modern war events.
Also, it was a crazy. What do you mean that it holds so much weight for people?
Because
It's
people
wild.
don't talk about the atomic bomb like that.
I think they do.
They don't even talk about the Trade Center that way. They don't talk about it the same way.
Okay.
It's romanticized because it was before modern times.
But do you think it was romanticized post-movie? You know what I mean?
I think the movie was made because it's romanticized.
Oh, okay.
But I think the reason, you can, comment below, I think the reason is because it was the last famous thing that happened kind of before the modern world. You have the most horrific, horrifying war
Right.
coming beyond concept, coming down the pike. Then you have this weird respite in between with a stock market crash and a depression unrivaled in history in the United States, plus the Dust Bowl, which was literally the end of the world. Then you have the atomic bomb. It was the modern world. So Titanic was the last, people like to think, the last vestige of the old world. But the old world lives on.
Oh, it does?
Never let go.
Never let go. Thanks for having me.
Today we made stuff from the Titanic menus. We made Welsh rarebit, basically a grilled cheese. We made poached salmon with mousseline sauce. We made peaches, or other fruit, in chartreuse jelly. And we made punch romaine. Iceberg. Never let go.
Never let go.
Never let go.
I'll never let go, Jack.
Never let go, Rose. Rose.
It's cold.
Rose.
Jack.
Rose.
I'll never let go.
Rose. Never let go. Is there anyone alive out there? Rose!
Jack.
I'm king of the world!
I'm flying.
What's this?
What are you doing? I'll never let go.
Rose, never let go. You know the crazy thing? There's a factory somewhere that makes this.
For $9.
Thanks for watching. Dinner party tonight.
I'm flying.
Yeah, totally.
I'm flying, Jack. Jack.
Totally, Rose! You're totally flying! Rose!